How you doing, brother? I'm Vaughn Carmouche. You are?
Mr. Very Light, J.J. Simmons.
Mr. J.J. Simmons, Mr. Very Light. I would love to talk to you about your book right here. We have Injected by Faith.
Injected by Faith.
And I would love to talk to you about a chapter in Injected by Faith.
Let's do it.
So in your book, Injected by Faith, I highly recommend it, by the way.
Absolutely.
You have a chapter called How to Stay in Faith.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would love to discuss how to stay in faith with you.
Okay.
So let me ask you a question. You're talking about how to stay in faith. And if you have to allow the Word of God to argue its case with you,
Yeah.
if you're asking God to argue his case with you, what does that mean to you?
That's one of my favorite chapters. It's basically saying, like, when you have the Word of God, you have to learn how to look at the Word of God. Because see, sometimes when you start tripping and you worrying and you stressing, you forget what the Word of God promised you, right? So what I do, I go to one of my favorite scriptures and I read it over and over and over to renew my mind. Because my heart believes God, but sometimes my mind might struggle and try to negotiate with what I believe. So you have to, that's what that means. You have to allow the Word to argue his case, not God. Allow the Word to argue his case with me so I can get back in faith. Because see, sometimes, like I said, I'm going to repeat it again, when we stressing and we worrying, we forget what God has said. We know what he said, but we kind of can see now to a certain extent. You feel me? So you allow that Word to argue his case with you, and that's what it means.
So what you're telling me basically is God will not allow himself to trespass your faith.
You like that, huh? You've been on that. Listen, J.J. Simmons, you know the vibes. Planet Faith.